One of the most fundamental steps in a UX project is to conduct research, especially to empathize with your users. However, when beginners think of user research, they imagine that they have to recruit a bunch of users and conduct primary interviews. And since most of you work on personal projects, it can be difficult to find users. In this video, I'm going to share 3 methods in which you can conduct basic UX user research for free. Let's get started. The first method involves learning from other designers. This basically means you can read reports and case studies of other designers on the same topic. So for example, if you're working on a dental app, you can go on Google and search for dental app UX case studies. Then you'll get a list of many different case studies that are done by other designers, and you can open them and read how these designers have solved for that problem. One of the biggest benefits of doing this is that these designers must have already conducted user research and other research and documented neatly in their case study. This will help you save time and get a clear idea of how the designers went about doing this research, what questions they asked, and what were their ultimate findings after conducting all of this research. This will help you learn about the users' pain points, their motivations, their behaviors, and you'll also see how these designers solve for these problems. I recommend doing this for 2 or 3 case studies and then noting down the learnings that you gain from these case studies so that you can validate them later on in your project. This will also help you get a diverse understanding of how this problem was solved by different designers versus just reading the case study of one designer. So make sure that you refer to at least 2 or 3 different case studies by different designers. The second method involves reading app reviews on competitor products online. This is a great secondary user research method as users love writing about their experiences, especially negative experiences that they have while using such products. This method will allow you to get information directly from the source, that is the user, without having to interview them. So let's say you're working on a fitness app. What you can do is you can note down 5 or 6 competitors of this app, and then you can go on the Google Play Store and the Apple App Store and look up for these competitors and read their reviews. What I like to do is I like to take screenshots of these reviews and collect them in one place so that I can refer to them together at once. As I mentioned earlier, users love writing about their positive but more importantly their negative experiences. So then you can organize the screenshots that you took into positive and negative reviews. As you read through these reviews, you can note down the positives and negatives that you have found and maybe organize them into certain themes or topics. For instance, in the fitness app, if people are complaining about the usability, if people are complaining about the lack of features or that it's difficult to use or there are certain features that are not working, you can bifurcate them into these different categories so that you'll have all the comments organized and it'll help you brainstorm further in the project. Another benefit of doing this is that you will observe certain patterns or certain commonalities in the reviews that these users have written. This can probably help you identify a certain user persona, because if you notice that users are complaining about the same thing or they want the same requirements, that will help you gauge like, okay, this is a possible user persona that has these requirements, that faces these pain points and has certain goals. Apart from reading reviews on these app stores, you can also refer to forums online such as Product Hunt, Reddit and Quora. The bottom line is you want to find out information that has already been written by users online. The third method is a primary UX user research method, but it is something that is easily achievable, especially if you're working on a consumer product or a product that many people that you know will use. This essentially means recruiting your friends and family to be participants in your UX user research. However, you shouldn't pick any random friends or family for your project or for your interviews. What you should do is that you should validate the specific user requirements and make sure that the people you recruit are relevant to the project you're working on. This works well for consumer apps versus business apps or B2B apps. So for example, let's say you're working on an app that is aimed at helping people who have plants take care of their plants better and understand how to take care of their plants and learn more about the science and history behind plants. So automatically the types of users you would want to recruit for this project would be people who either have plants or who want to adopt plants for their house. So essentially you can ask your friends or family members that have plants or who want to buy plants, basically who fit within these 2 categories. After you do that, it depends on what kind of research or what kind of data you want to collect. If you want to collect quantitative data, that means if you have a lot of yes or no questions, or you have very binary multiple choice questions that you want answered, you can send them a survey and have them respond to it in their free time. However, if you have more subjective questions that requires more qualitative research, you can ask them to get on a phone call or set up a Zoom meeting or a Google Meet meeting, or you could meet them in person if it works in both your schedules. Essentially, when you interview them, you can ask them the problems that they're facing. For those who have plants, you can ask them, okay, what are the different measures you're taking to take care of your plants? Is it working or not? If it's not working, then ask them why. Ask them exactly what they've done to fix their own problems, so you can take that and maybe work on it or find a better alternative to what they're already doing. One of the most common problems that people have when they take care of their plants is maintaining it, because most of the times, especially those who don't have any idea of how to take care of a plant, the plant will probably wither and die within a few weeks or months, and that could lead to frustration, or users might feel that they are not cut out for it. So essentially, you can sit down with these users and ask them such questions. It's a good idea to list down all the questions that covers the various themes that you want to touch upon in your research. That will help you get better prepared for the interview, and it will reduce the awkwardness, especially if you're doing this for the first time. This method is a great way of getting clear insight from real users directly from the source. Also, I recommend doing this after you do the first two methods, as you can validate the learnings that you picked up in those methods with the users that you interview. For example, if you did some secondary research or you studied some competitive products and read reviews, and you found out that people who adopt plants do not know which plants are ideal for indoor versus outdoor, you can ask a user if they face the same problem and what they did to overcome it. So that's the benefit of doing this primary research after secondary research. The bottom line is UX research is nothing but finding answers to questions. Some designers have already answered those questions in their case studies and reports. So by referring to that, you can quickly gain knowledge on a specific topic and learn from their experiences. In my ebook, I explain exactly how you can go about doing UX research step by step, and the questions you should ask, and more importantly, how you can ask them with a real world example. So if you're interested, do check it out. I really hope this video was helpful, especially if you're a beginner who wants to break into UX and wants to conduct UX research. And I really hope these three methods will help you out with your projects. So if you want to learn more about UX design and how to go about it, then do consider subscribing. Thanks for watching.